Depuis le début de l'année 2015, plus de 950 000 migrants sont arrivés en Europe, selon le Haut Commissariat aux réfugiés. Tout au long de leur parcours, les migrants affrontent des dangers qui peuvent leur être fatals. Au total, cette année, on estime que plus de 3600 personnes sont décédées ou portées disparues en Méditerranée. Leurs familles, elles, attendent anxieusement de leurs nouvelles. Une des missions de la Croix-Rouge est de les aider à savoir ce qu'il est advenu de leurs proches portés disparus.
We are in the cemetery of Mytilene in Lesbos Island, where, as you can see, we have a lot of dead bodies unidentified which have been collected at sea, most of the time by the Coast Guard, but often also bodies have been washed to the shore, and they are buried here with the tombs with no mark. It's written incognito on them. The day before crossing, or sometimes the hour just before crossing, there is always a call to the family. I'm making it today. Family, if few hours later, one day, 2 days after, they don't hear anything about their relative who promised to call once on the right side, then they start wondering, it's okay, maybe something wrong happened. And then direct themselves naturally to the National Red Cross of their country or to the ICRC closest delegation. And they make what is called a tracing request, saying my son has disappeared. I'm afraid that he would have died while crossing the Mediterranean Sea. And sometimes that's the first hint that we have, which leads us to start investigating with the forensic authorities in this island or in other places.
When we have a request, a tracing request about someone, let's say a migrant who is in Samos, most of the times, as I said, thankfully, he is alive and he can be found, but sometimes he is dead, he's drowned. Most of the times he's drowned. So what I do is get in contact with the local pathologists, get the information from them. Do you have a body such and such? And compare it with the information in the tracing request. But when it's an obvious case or an incident or a shipwreck, for example, we're not waiting for a tracing request, but we are trying to get information. Who was there? Have you identified them? How many you have not identified? How many are missing? It's a good building up of information which might be useful pretty soon. Usually it is useful.
Les gardes-côtes grecs sont en première ligne lors de ces naufrages. Avec le laboratoire central d'ADN de la police à Athènes, le docteur Kouvaris participe à leur formation dans la collecte et l'enregistrement de données personnelles comme des vêtements, bijoux ou encore des tatouages. Le médecin conseiller de la Croix-Rouge grecque maintient aussi des liens étroits avec des médecins légistes comme le docteur Pavlos Pavlidis. Ce dernier travaille dans le nord de la Grèce où de nombreux migrants sont décédés en voulant franchir le fleuve Évros, la frontière naturelle avec la Turquie.
I have respect from these dead people and I want the families to take the body in their country. For these people I work in the last 15 years, from 2000. All these years we have about 334 dead bodies. My work is to find the reason of death, and I make identification from these people, because from all these people we have documents, we have nothing. And this is our problem, identification.
Le docteur Pavlos Pavlidis prélève systématiquement l'ADN des migrants décédés et conserve leurs effets personnels dans l'espoir d'un jour parvenir à les identifier. Il partage ces données avec le CICR et la Croix-Rouge grecque. Grâce à ce travail de recoupement, il a pu donner un nom à environ un tiers des 334 corps qu'on lui avait confiés. La plupart d'entre eux viennent de Syrie, d'Afghanistan et du Pakistan.
For me or the International Red Cross, we have contact with these families. It's very important for me to have a close contact with International Red Cross, because people, they don't know me, but they know International Red Cross. I give information, they give me information, and we have a result.
Forensics and fortunate cases don't usually go together. When we have a successful, let's say, case, it means we can prove that someone is indeed dead and buried there, for example. It's not a happy ending, but it is an ending. The family can start mourning, they can have closure. It's better than the alternative, which is not knowing ever what happened to your family.
Without this mourning process, the family have to live all their life with what is called, this is a concept developed by Pauline Bose, the ambiguous loss. Not being sure that your relative is dead or is he alive, and you have to live between two realities, the reality of thinking that this person will never come back, but still hoping that he will maybe come back, like two universes parallel. And this is very painful, very difficult for the families, and which is why we are pushing so much to develop all this technique of having a common comparison of post-mortem data and ante-mortem data to maximize the possibility of getting matches, getting positive results between family looking for relative presumed dead and dead body unidentified, such as those here behind me.